What's up guys, and welcome to episode 27 of the Manchester United Career Mode. And what we have in store for you today is a bumper episode. 6 games, nothing less. Last games of the season. Can we win the league? I mean, we are 4 points clear, I think, at this moment in time. With 18 points to play for, so I mean, there's chances we can do it. But it all depends on what happens in these games. Normally I'd say let's not waste any time and actually get into the games. However, it is the start of the month, so that means we have a youth intake, and it'll be the last youth intake of this season. So going in and looking at it, we of course will start with Serbia. Serbia still haven't really gave us any real players that have been interesting. I think this is Bashanic is probably the first player I've seen that might be interesting if he's 70 rated, so we'll just sign him up. And going forward, there's also this Milan Susak. I'm like, you're at 1.7 million, you're coming to me. Looking at South Korea next, they kind of fluttered with a whimper here. Like, they gave us some interesting players for our youth academy, but nothing that's too exactly like great. You can see we've got Martin Escobar here. Yeah, he's up to 94, but he's not great for the Uruguayans overall. This guy Carlos Ferrer could start at 70. If he starts at 70, it could be interesting. As you see, we have a little look through the stats to just have a little see, but in the end we do reject. And going forward, we reject everyone else as well. So first game of the episode, we are up against Leicester City. Juan Soriano being their goalkeeper. They're rocking the 5-2-1-2. Lucas Klosterman in there, Thiago, Yuri Tielemans, Camille Sowa, and Kevin Benzema. I think there's Sergio Aguero on the bench. Yep, Christian Romero's on the bench. Ricardo Pereira. They get a lot of big name players just sitting on their bench. And we're getting into games that are now must win. In 30 minutes in the first half, we finally get a good chance through Moreno, slipping this ball through for Erling Haaland, who slots it in the bottom left-hand corner to give us that 1-0 lead. And like I said, these games are now all must win. We need to try and keep teams out and go and score goals. Liverpool are right up behind us, and we need to keep them at bay. In the second half though, however, Erling Haaland does pick up this ball and just sort of holds up, little walks. So we do find Matteo Moreno, who scores yet again his second goal of the season, and he's picking them at vital points. That equaliser against Chelsea, and now to put us 2-0 up against Leicester. He's definitely starting to come of age. That probably should have been a foul. Lovely back heel from Haaland, and Jack Grealish smashes into the top corner to make it 3-0 Manchester United and see this game out, as that whereas the game finishes at 3-0. Moving into the next game, and I've got to say, see if I could sit for the next 5 minutes and not talk about this game, I would. As you can see, we've actually pulled 10 points clear. Liverpool, I don't think they've played their game in hand, and they lost their next game. So we're holding quite a good advantage as Fulham take the lead after about 10 minutes. Osvaldo Donato, I've been practicing that, I still don't think I've said it correctly, puts them 1-0 up to the good. 3 minutes later, Harrison Reed's bringing this ball forward. Osvaldo Donato gets this ball again, there's Baranov, and Fernandes smashes Fulham 2-0 up after 15 minutes. And players with their head in their hands. My head was in my hands. I'm like, what is going on here? Who are these players that Fulham have got, and why are they tearing me a new one? Our scouting report didn't show this. Look at this for a pass. Ioichi. There's Fernandes again. Smashed in. 19 minutes on the clock, and we're 3-0 down at home against Fulham. And do I want to say that's where it ended? I wish I could say that's where it ended. As we get to the half-hour mark, Fulham come forward again. Fernandes playing this ball through. Ioichi holds it up. I mean, Fernandes just running the show. What a pass that is. Christie picks this ball up. It's just sort of played in aimlessly, and Oswald and Al, lovely little touch, volleys at home for 4-0 just after the half-hour mark. And just 7 minutes later, Danny Ings picks up this ball here. Ball gets won, Danny slaps the ground in frustration. He knows this game is not going correctly. Fernandez just playing that ball off to Baranov. Ioichi again picking this ball up. Then suddenly Robinson's on the ball through to Oswald Donato, who chips Oblak to score his hat-trick in the 40th minute, and Fulham are leading 5-0 at Old Trafford. Like, is this where we bottle it? Is this where we finally bottle the league? And we're 10 points clear in a great position. Jack Grealish curls in a lovely goal to get his one back just before half-time. Not that's going to count for much. I mean, is that the beginning of a comeback? Well, the 60th minute, it could have been. Alex Tellez heading that ball to Grealish. Fernandez find the ball out to Moreno. We try to find just a little sliver. Haaland, ball is... I don't know how Haaland doesn't score there, but thankfully the ball does ricochet back into the path of Jack Grealish. And we're at 5-2 on the hour mark. And, we've got a chance, but we just couldn't go any further forward. Fulham shot a shut up shop. And they play this ball through as it's Bobby Decordova-Reid. Their ball through, and Janssen smashes it home for 6-2 Fulham. Yes, we lose 6-2 at home to Fulham. Oswald Donato with 3, Fernandez with 2, and Janssen with 1. And Fulham are down the bottom of the league. They absolutely tore us apart. Look at the stats. We had very similar stats. 8 shots each. They had 7 in target, but 6 of them went in. As we have a little look at League Table, Man City are now setting 7 points behind. They were 16 points behind us at one point. It's now 7 points to Manchester City and to Liverpool, which would mean that we can win this league in the next 2 games. We play West Ham and West Brom. So we could win the league with 2 games to spare, and I'm going to say I didn't show you who we played in the last 2 games yet. That could be the difference of if we win these next 2, it could be the full-on difference because we've got a tough last 2 games. So these are must-win games against West Ham and West Brom next. Emil Odero is the West Ham goalkeeper. I do believe he's linked to move back to Juventus, or there's something reason they can't go back to Juventus. I can't fully remember the story. Jesse Lingard's also there, and Mikel Antonio. Very much. Patrick Schick's playing for West Ham these days as a Scotsman. That's a sore one to see. Also, he got a lovely goal at the Euros. I'm thinking, I do. I love Patrick Schick. Good nothing against Patrick Schick. Bruno Fernandes smashes us 1-0 up in the 15th minute. The leader, Gek said, these are vital goals. We need to win this game. Not winning this. This is basically every game's a cup final. I hate that saying, but every game right now is a cup final. To make sure that we stay on track to win this league. West Ham gave us some chances. Antonio, I thought that was going to be a goal. See the minute that ball flicked up, I'm like, this is a goal. Great save from Oblak as we come into the 90th minute. Why are we showing the 90th minute? Have we won the league with this game? Absolutely not. Dan James, who else? Absolutely outpacing Masuaku. Flicks that ball, and who else would be there but Fernando Nino to get his mark on this game, his mark on this title run. He's definitely been proven to be much better than Haaland in certain situations, and the young Spaniard does fire us in 2-0. Let's watch the replay of this. I really like this goal. There's goals I just really like. Just just for the simple nature, little flick and smashes it home. Just for Dan James to have the audacity to do that little flick right there and then. I get it was the end of the game, they probably weren't going to go up and score, but you never know, it's football. We won this game 2-0 and now it's simple. The mindset is clear. We're at home to West Brom. This is must win. Win this, we should win the league. We've not won the league yet. Win this and we should win the league. And we do get off to an absolute great start. Fabio Vieira picking this ball up. Declan Rice drilling it from the edge of the box past the goalkeeper to make it 1-0 Manchester United. Captain for the day. Also, Vieira's playing. Fernandez is injured yet again. He scored against West Ham and then took another injury, which I don't think it's I think it was like 5 days, but it wasn't enough to make sure that he. In fact, he's not injured for this game. He was injured. He's tired for this game. I think he was just back. That's what it is. I'm reading my notes and I realise I do sub him on. That was why I've realised that. You see there, West Brom do manage to get a goal back, annoyingly so, to make it one each. This was a very back and forth game. Fernando Nino, absolute brilliant ball there of Vieira. Played back to Nino and Nino smashes home to make it 2-1. And like I said, Fernando Nino definitely making his mark on this title run in the last game and this one now. He's got to give me a headache for next season. Does he deserve to start next season? Was Haaland a $250 million mistake? Maybe he was. In the second half though, Carlin Grant holds a spot by City, and then Dean Gana finds a spot. We just couldn't they were trying to foul. And Carlin Grant just ends Jan All Black's career with that chip. As they make it to each. You can see the players just try to foul, try to stop the play, and they did. They just couldn't, and Callan Grant does get in to make it to each. Not long after that, though, we do manage to find ourselves back in this game. Fernando Nino, I feel like I'm saying his name constantly, flicks that ball to Neves. He hits it, it's saved, but who's there? Our main man, so I will bleep that, I think. Bruno Fernandes. No one heard that. To make it 3-2 as we go into the dying embers of the game. West Brom launch an attack up the field. Just kidding, Dallo completely cuts out as Mateo Moreno picks his ball up. He's looking. He knows Dallo's in the overlap. He sort of loses it. The cross is played in, bounces off the defender, and Danny Ings gets his mark. 12th goal of the season for Danny Ings with the overhead kick into the goal. And if that's got to win you the title, what a way to win the title. I know it's right in front of the goal, I can't miss, but it's still a nice goal to see though, isn't it? You can't take anything away from the fact it's just a nice goal. So if we look at the replay, Dallo just sort of loses the ball, drills it in and boof. I mean, for that angle doesn't look like Ings touched it, looks like the defender just absolutely put it in, but you can see he does change direction. And absolutely great way to win the league. And we do, in fact, you can see the celebrations here. We have, in fact, won the Premier League with that. You can see all the players celebrating. Because worst case scenario, we're still with 7 points with 6 to play for. That was the whole point of these two games. Everybody's happy. Declan Rice can't believe it. He's won 2 titles with Manchester United. He deserves a knighthood for that with the way they're playing. But we will have a little look at the league table, and as you can see, we're 10 points clear. Man City and Liverpool haven't played yet. They are 10 points behind with 9 to play for now. And it was just good to finally get this league. This was a very tough league this year. We take 4 defeats. I'm saying it's won 27 games. It's tough. Yeah, it's tough. We've had a lot of injuries. And you see the last 2 games, away to Leeds, at home in Manchester City. Can you imagine the title still in the line going home in Manchester City? Same as last year when we had Liverpool in the second last game and then Chelsea. The last 2 games were going to be interesting, and we've managed to win the league before them, thankfully. So they've become a little less interesting in that regard. We do get to go to Ellen Road though, for the next game. You still need to play the games. I was thinking about 7, but it's a bit unfair. You can see they've got very much a very similar lineup to real life. Ivan Oblakov, I'm pretty sure, has been signed for CSKA Moscow, because I don't remember his name. And just looking at it, not very many new signs. Morales, Milik, so on and so forth. Leeds though are a good team. That is to be remembered. As they get this ball through here, and it's Oblakov, of course, is the Russian that scores just after the 15-minute mark to make it 1-0 to Leeds United. Sort of a little annoying there, but these things happen. In the second half though, we do manage to get a breakaway. Of course, we get a breakaway for a chance to score. Fabio Vieira holding this ball up, plays that ball across. Marino's look like he wants it. Ruben Neves like, nope, this is mine, and scores to make it 1 each. as he starts doing his little bit of a dance. I'm just waiting for my dog to bark. I don't. No, she's no. The door went. I thought the dog was about to bark. We do get one each with Leeds, and that leads to the last game at home against Manchester City. Manchester Derby in the last game. Of course, you want to win this. Like, why wouldn't you want to win this? It's Manchester Derby. Man City, though, are not going to make anything ever easy. And there we go. There's Doug Barton. This ball's played in, and there's Raheem Sterling. Sorry, I'm hearing voices. I'm not hearing voices downstairs. Somebody's at the door. But anyway, Manchester City do in fact score, make it one each, and we go into the second half. We do manage to find ourselves back in. Jack Grealish definitely been again another player of the season for his goal scoring ventures. And like we talked about Fernando Nino, he only had 7 goals this season, but he still scored more than Erling Haaland. Had more time as well, but that's not the point. And obviously Grealish there, that was his 8th goal of the season. Alex Telles just his career ended by Fernando Torres, with Ferran Torres, and Bernardo Silva smashes at home to make it 2-1 to Manchester City, just past the hour mark. As he runs to go and hug Guardiola, I'm like, I haven't no time to see that. 70th minute though, we do manage to get Jack Grealish back in, and he just, bye bye, straight through 2 defenders, and curls it in to make it 2 each. Which is definitely what I see. Like we don't want to lose this game. We struggled against Manchester City quite a bit. We need to win. However, 6 minutes later, Manchester City pick the ball up, and the City winger scores once again to make it 3-2. And then we do try and push Fernando Nino. It just seemed to be written in the stars he would score. Big save by Ederson to keep it the scoreline, and then we just get caught out on the counter. Ferran Torres, all the space in the world he needs, just brings this ball in, puts it across, and there's Lewandowski to Canio kick it basically into the goals to make it 4-2 Manchester City. So we do lose the last game of the season. Players are celebrating though because they've won the league, and all right to them, but shouldn't be celebrating after a defeat to your rivals. And we do end up only winning the league by 2 points. Liverpool just dominated a lot of this league. I'm pretty sure they were 11 points behind us early on in the season, or there was something stupid behind us, and they ended up finishing 2 points behind us. I don't like that. It's just, we definitely got a bit lucky here to win this league overall. But we'll take the wins. That's what matters. Another league, won the Carabao Cup this season as well. As we've all known, Derby, Burnley and West Brom are relegated. So a bit of noise in the background today though, just things obviously going on. There's workers that way. I try and keep the immersion real, but I'm going to leave you with the title celebration images here, and I'm going to sign off. So I'll see you in next season.